Hello friends, and welcome back to Acting Like an Actor. I'm your host, Sophie Jordan Collins, and this week we have on actor Gabo Olmeda. Gabo is known for his television work on shows such as Neon and commercials for, small little companies such as Coca-Cola and Hilton. He's also known for his work on films such as Lifetime's Dying to Win and Inside Man. We talk about how his visit to Los Angeles turned into a move, the process of booking a role on a Netflix show, and how to trust that the right role will always find you. If you're struggling to trust the process in your acting journey and you just have a lot of stress and striving surrounding it, then this is the episode for you. Let's go.
Are you rich?
Are you famous?
What have you been on?
I don't really recognize you, and neither does my mom.
Can you laugh?
Can you cry on command?
I mean, you said you were an actor, man.
What's your backup plan? Is this shattered?
Dude, I'm just acting like an actor.
Are you ready?
No.
Okay.
But yeah.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Acting Like an Actor. I'm your host, Sophie Jordan Collins, and today we are joined by... You want to introduce yourself?
Fine. I'm Gabo. And yeah, what do you want me to say?
That's all to start off.
Yeah.
I'm going to start off with a little personality test, and we're going to get to know Gabo.
Yeah.
And you guys know I always talk about how important it is as an actor to know yourself, because you can only come to your craft as full as you are as a person. So we're going to do a little personality test so you can get to know yourself a little better, and our viewers can also get to know you a little better. And you guys can also do this little test at home. It's the cube test, if you've ever heard of that. Okay, Gabo, are you ready?
Think so. Let's go.
Okay. Think of an open field. How big is this field? Just imagine it. We'll talk about it later.
Okay.
What is this field filled with? What are the surroundings of the field like? Do you have it? Do you see your beautiful field?
Think so. Yeah.
Okay. We're going to move on to the next question. So think of a cube in this field. Think of how big your cube is, what it's made of, what the surface is like, what color it is, where in the field this cube is. Okay, so now I'm going to ask you questions about your field, okay? We're going to backtrack a little bit.
Okay.
What does your field look like? What's the condition of it?
What's the condition?
Mm-hmm. Like, is it dead and dry? Is it lively and green?
It is lively and green.
Okay.
For sure. Yeah. Lots of like mountains though on the outside, but like very just open field. Nothing to like bother like, to look out or whatever. It's just clean. It's just very like peaceful.
Okay, so
Yeah.
this field supposedly represents the mind. And it says if your field is grassy and healthy, you are feeling optimistic in your mind. So that's good. Now we'll talk
Cool.
about your cube. What type of texture does your cube have?
A little rough, but it has a very I don't know how to explain it, but just, yeah, you can tell it's still a cube, but it's still a little bit rocky. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
So it says if your cube is rough, you are more straightforward. You tend to be honest in everything, no matter how it might affect the person you're talking to, which makes him a great podcast guest if you're going to be honest.
Oh, God.
Optimistic and honest. Okay, cool.
Cool.
Next, I want you to think of a horse. What
Ooh.
color is this horse?
I love horses.
What is this horse doing? And where is it in relation to your cube? Do you see your horse in your mind?
I do. I don't know where to place it, though. It doesn't seem to be placed anywhere around my cube.
Okay.
But
That might... Okay. So this horse represents your ideal partner.
So
What is the horse doing? Is it just standing there?
no, have you ever seen a horse trot?
Yes.
Like happily or like, yeah. Like we
Okay.
call that like paso fino in Puerto Rico. I don't know
Okay.
how you call that here, but yes.
Oh, also, Gabo is... What is the... When you can speak two languages?
Bilingual.
Bilingual. That's the word. And he likes to flex on people that he speaks Espanol.
Because I'm Puerto Rican, guys. Everybody flexes when you're from Puerto Rico, okay?
Touche.
Yeah.
Okay, so it says if your horse is running or trotting, then your ideal partner will respect your space and give you alone time that you crave. I don't know how that psychologically works, but we'll
Exactly.
go with it.
Yeah.
What color is your horse?
It is white, like gray,
Okay.
like grayish white.
You value loyalty and trust more than anything else in a relationship if your horse is white.
That's actually
Okay. This is a fun little test. I don't know who came up with this. I heard them do this on another podcast, so I stole this.
Oh, okay,
Shout out Jay
yeah.
Shetty. Do you know
Us
who that
actors
is?
and stealing shit, you know.
I know.
Sounds,
Nothing's original.
sounds like L.A., Hollywood. Okay.
It's gotten to me. What can I say? Okay, think of some flowers. Where are the flowers in your field? And how many flowers are there?
They are close to me, I guess. Like they're right, you know. You can see them. They're not far.
Okay.
Color?
Actually, no, you just answered the question. So it says the flowers represent your family and friends. The number of flowers reflects your popularity, and their location indicates how close you are with your social groups. So you said they're close to you.
Yeah.
Okay, actually, I just saw something about the horse. So you said your horse is not by the cube, right?
Yeah, no.
You didn't see
Like
it? Okay.
I couldn't place it, yeah.
It says if the horse is a bit further away from the cube, it indicates a need for a partner who will understand and accommodate your desire for alone time.
Oh my god.
We're really getting into the mind here, aren't we? Think of the weather in the field. Is it raining? Is it sunny? Is your field foggy?
It's always rainy. Or not always, but it's rainy right now.
Oh, rain symbolizes the problems in your life. The harder the rain, the bigger the problems.
See, I saw that one coming.
I know, I feel like I did too.
Yeah. But you know,
So you decided to pick the most depressing one. Okay.
did I? I don't know. Maybe.
Is the storm by the cube at all or no?
Shit.
You forgot
Not.
about the cube, didn't you?
Yeah.
Me too, actually.
What was the cue? My mentality, my personality.
Yes, your mind.
Oh, so see, if I were to say yes, and then okay, it really is, yeah.
Okay, yes, that was the last one.
Nice.
Okay, so now that we've broken down all of Gabo's psychological walls, we'll jump into our actual irritating icebreakers. So I have 3 annoying questions to ask you. Are you ready?
Okay, is that the first one?
No, that wasn't. That doesn't count. Okay, this is a really deep question.
Okay. Shit.
What celebrity looks stinky to you?
Oh wow. Stinky. Damn.
Like you just look at them and you're like, ugh. I have one that comes to, like, for example, I don't know why. I might edit this out because this is mean. And just looks stinky to me.
Okay, see,
I
that's
just feel like, I don't know, she just gives me a vibe.
that's a vibe.
Mhm.
Okay. See, it's like Pete Davidson. I think we mentioned him.
Oh, okay.
So like he's interesting, but
Mhm.
he's not like, he doesn't give me the ick, but he's
Yeah.
he's I don't know, he's there.
He's stinky.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
How do you like your eggs?
Scrambled.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the first thing you thought of this morning?
First thing I thought of this morning, I have to do an audition.
Wow, what an actor he is here. Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of actor, Gabo, do you
Yes.
care to tell us what's your story? How did you get here?
My
Start
whole
from the
story.
your whole life story.
Oh god.
Gabo. Just how you fell into the acting world.
Well, if we go back to Puerto Rico or Puerto Rico, it is just very like out of the ordinary for me to like start acting in the first place. So when I was in college, my second year or something, I just decided I needed to work because my family didn't let me, right? My family wouldn't let me fucking have a job. They just wanted me to focus on college. So one day I asked my brother for a gig to just like give flyers in San Juan, which is like the capital. And one random ass day, just walking around, and this guy comes up to me. He's like, "Hey, do you like? Oh, my bad. Do you want to be in like TV and music videos, do background, maybe commercials?" It's like super like
Scam.
exactly. And I just like looked at him like, "What are you talking about? Come on." And he's like, no, I'm so sorry. Like, you know what? I'm just running late to this tennis match that I have with like a friend or something. But just look me up on Facebook, and if you're interested, yeah, just hit me up. And he just dips. I'm like, okay. And I remember it was like a Thursday or like a Friday or something, because I didn't hit him up till like Sunday. Point is, I actually hit him up. Ended up being legit, but I tried it for like 6 months, 7 months, and like I only did background, I only did like maybe extra stuff for like commercials and stuff for like.
So was he an agent or what was he?
He was an agent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he had his own agency.
Okay, cool.
And I'm still with him actually, so that's one of the reasons I go back to Puerto Rico, because I'm able to book stuff over there and I travel. So I eventually, actually took it a little bit more serious. He's like, hey, you need to soften your look. You're a little bit too like, mean in the eyes, like just like frowning a lot or like whatever. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, come on, like this is what you want to know.
This is my face.
It's like, no, you gotta be more, público, what we call like public. Be like more relatable,
okay.
So I didn't have this hair either. I had like
okay.
buzz cut, super like, so I was like way more like local looking from Puerto Rico. And fast forward, I ended up eventually booking my first commercial, right? Like a lead principal. And oh shit, I like this. This is the kind of job that I can do. And like my parents kind of like, don't see it as a job. I'm just like, hey, I'm going to go shoot something. I'm going to go do background. I'm going to do this and that. I'm like, oh yeah, cool, whatever. He's in cameras. They didn't understand it. So COVID hits. And I kind of like took a step back, and, after a while of, doing a little bit of like lead roles in commercials, I just felt like I liked being in the industry more than I thought. So I asked my agent, I'm like, hey, any chance that like you do movies? And he's like, I mean, yeah, but why? Do you want to act? Do you want to be an actor? Because I didn't see you as an actor. You didn't tell me. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I want to try it out.
What did he think you were doing if you weren't an actor? But
that's the thing. But like in Puerto Rico, we don't get a lot of like projects to act.
Oh,
we
okay.
get co-stars. We might have supportings, but it's all surrounded with modeling and commercial. We do have projects that come from here, and we shoot them over there, but it's not that normal.
Okay, not a lot of theatrical work.
Exactly. Especially, not even theater per se, more film, like actual TV. That's all we might get. So, yeah, no theatrical. And he was surprised. He's like, yeah, okay, I'll try it out. A few days later, maybe like a week or so, he sends me my like the first ever audition script that I saw, and I tried it out. I went for it, and obviously I didn't fucking get it. But the role was for like a 30-year-old, kind of like two partners that were like this funny duo.
How old were you at the time?
Like 18, 19.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, maybe like, actually, I think it was, like 19 or 20. And then, I went for that. And people tell me I look like still like kind of young right now. So imagine me like at least 5-6 years ago. And I went for it. He liked it. He was like, okay, that's kind of funny. And the casting director actually told us, hey, that was actually not bad, and but he's too young for the role. Like, he's just like, but good job. I mean, cool. And I just got excited. I'm like, oh wow, okay, so maybe that's kind of the idea that I need to do, right? That's in Puerto Rico. Now fast forward to LA. I didn't think that I was gonna come here and just stay. So I did that audition maybe in November, and by December I went to visit my brother in Virginia, and I ended up booking a trip to come here because COVID was still like a thing and everything was cheap. But I had a friend from high school that moved here because he had a job as an engineer. So my best friend's here, and I'm like, I'm already in Virginia. I need to see the West Coast. I need to see LA. All this time, I'm just going there to actually visit him. So I go January 1st. I land here 2021, January 1st. Like, I travel that first day. And since when I got there, I just kind of liked the vibe of the city. I liked everything that was happening here. And this is where it gets even longer. I don't know if you want me to keep going.
Do it.
Okay. So I just spent 3 months with my best friend in a studio apartment, figuring shit out.
when you moved here in January, you thought you were just visiting your homie, and you ended up staying.
I
for
was
3 months.
visiting my homie.
Okay,
That's the thing.
for 3 months.
Well,
Okay.
for the first few weeks, I was just like, hey, I'm vibing, this and that. The first month turned into like, maybe I should start looking for reasons to stay because I like this. I don't want to go back home. My family was still asking me like, hey, when are you coming home? Are you studying? I was like, yeah, I'm studying online. Don't worry about it. I was doing my classes at 4 or 5 in the morning. I was still in school. So yeah, I woke up. I would wake up, put my headphones on, put my iPad underneath the blanket, and my homie's like right there, and he was about to like wake up maybe at 6 or 7. So I was like just not trying to like bother him, like under the covers chilling, you know? And point is, I started just looking for reasons to stay. So I went into allcasting.com, which is the shittiest, most whatever fucking...
I've never even heard of that one.
Exactly. It is very shitty, but I started submitting there. I think then I had backstage or something, but...
Backstage.
I was just submitting. It's super shitty. Like, oh my God, the all casting one, it was like, whatever. But I also was in dating apps. So funny enough, I got my first acting class because I met someone through a dating app. And it was the funniest thing ever because I was just like, I need to find like an acting class, but an in-person one. I don't want to act online. I don't want to do Zoom.
Yeah.
And I asked just like, just normal conversation was, hey, what you up to? Oh, nothing. Just like getting out of my acting class. And I'm like, what? You do what? Acting? Oh, tell me like more, whatever. So we actually linked up afterwards. She told me all about it. She invited me over to have the, what do you call the
audit?
The audit. Freaking loved it. And I was just like into it. Just like, boom.
Can you share what class or no?
Sure, it's CBSI, but he's no longer teaching.
Okay.
He kind of like retired, but still does like what is it, like individual, yeah. So I ended up having that, and it was like more of a reason to be like, awesome, I can study this now a little bit. I did that maybe for like a year or less. So okay, and then 2 and a half in, I had to look for a place. My buddy was moving out of the apartment. So I was like, shit, now I gotta look for my own place if I really want to stay, right? But all this time, my parents don't even know what's going on. So I'm just like, I want to stay, but they think that I'm just this baby that's in the West Coast. They would never imagine me like live by myself. Like they didn't even let me stay in my own apartment when I was studying in Puerto Rico. And I studied like an hour ago.
Home still.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like they would just not let me do that kind of stuff, right? So like I would study like an hour away, and they were like, no, just stay here. It's like less money, and you'll be fine. Blah blah blah. Just whatever. So in my mind, I'm like, shit, they're probably not gonna let me like go through this. But you know what? All casting. I brought my camera, or actually I told them, hey, can you send me the camera? So they sent me my camera. I took some headshots with that in like the corner of my friend's kitchen. I submitted through all casting, and I got this audition for a serial killer, which I got, and I was so proud. Like I didn't even get that I got that before I started the acting class.
Oh, cool.
Like I didn't know, but I was just so invested in like, if I can't show my family that there's something in LA that I can stay for, they're just not gonna like, knowing them, I know they would have not liked the idea because it would have just been too much for them. I don't know how to explain it, but it's basically...
No, it makes sense. You're moving to,
out of nowhere. Yeah, like,
LA,
no plans, no way. And they're like expecting me to come back. I was still like 21 or 20, so it's like not normal to move. Like it is normal here for like a lot of people like move away from home when you're like 18, 17. And like it is for us if you're already like halfway down the door, like out the door by the time you're like 19, I don't know, because you work and do all that kind of stuff in college, then yeah. But for me, it just wasn't. So I had to like, I just felt like this, I need to show them something, right?
Yeah.
So I actually booked 2 features, one that I couldn't book or like shoot. Actually, yeah, I know it's, I don't say this often, but this is the story that, so whatever. so I was able to like tell them, hey, I got these 2 movies that I need to shoot, so
Were
like
they paying and stuff as well? The films?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
they were like, one was shooting in a boat,
Oh, cool.
but I couldn't shoot that because they were trying to, they were trying to bite more than they can chew. So shooting in a boat means, a lot of like careful planning and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So eventually, when my buddy needs to like get out to like move to another place, I found my place through Craigslist in a week, and I just felt like this is it. Like I need to go see it. I need to go check it out. I'm like, hey, dude, what can you do? I have no credit. I have no bank accounts here. I have savings account. I mean, what can you do? It's like, sure, if you can show me this and the savings, I got you. And I'm like, but how quick can you like help me? Because I'm like paying hotels and I'm paying Airbnbs. He's like, I'll try and do it as quick as I can, but it'll take me at least like the weekend or something. I was like, fuck, okay, fine. I showed him that. Next thing I know, I have an apartment. I was living in K-Town in this Virgo, I think it's like it's called Virgo Airbnb or hotel or something, whatever, right? So I got my place, and that's where I auditioned for the boat movie, and I got it. I was supposed to be the younger introverted little brother, and I also got that one. So what I did was, and what also helped me was that my parents thought that I was just trying it out because they thought like, oh, movie star, yeah, you're gonna do all this shit. But you know what? My apartment is still, and it was, and to this day, month to month. So that's what I was like, oh yeah, if I can't do it this month, then I'll just move out, and I'll just move out. So I kept on like leading them on in a way.
Oh, okay.
And so,
and
like,
they were like, he's gonna come back eventually. He's just testing.
He's
it
not
out.
committed. Yeah, it's like, oh come on, it's just a month. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, and they kept asking me, it's like, when do you think like that movie's gonna shoot? It's like, well, I'm shooting the serial killer one, the Voyagers, and that's the name of the other one. We did the table read, and I showed them pictures, and like we did this, we went to the boat, but yeah, we haven't been able to shoot it because they're taking too long, whatever. So, but then I got into central casting, but then I got into background, but then I got into like all this stuff, and I started booking like commercials, and I got my agencies, and everything just like after that little 6 months of like putting in so much, into building myself and showing that I could do this in a way.
Yeah, you started getting stuff from that.
Exactly. Like the acting class brought me my first agency. That agency brought me another agency because they're collaborating. Then my film agents, it's like it just snowballed for me. It made sense that I was just like getting a good feedback.
Yeah.
But it almost did throw me off because I remember going into this agency when I first got here, and me all jolly, I'm like, oh yeah, I have experience from Puerto Rico and I'm gonna do this, blah blah blah. And the first thing she tells me is like, you're too green. It's like, I like your face, I like your vibe, but like you're too green. And I'm like, what does that mean? I sincerely was like, what? Like, what are you talking about? For me, she was overdoing it. Like, she was like, oh, you just gotta like, okay, say, oh my god, this ice cream is so good.
Oh.
Exactly. And I was like, and I toned it a little bit down. I made it more realistic, but not theater, What? She like straight up and like in front of in the lobby, like about to like take me out of the door. She gave me that one last shot. I'm like, that's not what I thought I should be doing. But
it's like children's theater company.
Exactly. So yeah, I remember their name right now. I went blank. I don't want to like, give them bad rep, but like, come on guys. Yeah, I'll remember. I'll tag you. So that stayed with me, and I went back into the acting class to my coach. He's like, hey, I need a private. I need to like ask you a few stuff. And I'm like, what does green mean? He's like, what are you asking? It's like, well, I went into this agency and they told me I'm green, like, or I look green. What the fuck does that mean? It's like, well, it's just new. You're just like fresh. And I'm like, but I have experience. It's like, well, I don't know. Maybe it's just like, I guess they didn't like you. What happened? And I told him that they made me do that. And he's like, well, if it's like that, then okay. But yeah, it basically means that you're green. So yeah, afterwards, I just thought about it. I'm like, why? And I just adjusted. I made my slate different. I made myself different. And so far, I guess I just wanted to show that I could do that. But in a way, I didn't change that much. I was just like adapting to LA standards, which were way different to like, what I was used to. But yeah, I felt like after that, I don't know, my journey still is to this day it's still going, obviously. And that was only my first year. My second year, then I did background, like tons of it. Then my third year, which is right now, I just told myself, I was like, I'm not gonna do background. And so far, yeah, it's
and then we went on strike, and here we are.
Exactly. Let's just say that, yeah, my first year I was adapting. I got used to doing, like LA. So yeah, like I felt that my journey here, to just wrap it up, is this is what I count as my acting, being in LA, like my acting years and my acting experience. So my first year, I went full out with like trying to learn everything. It
takes a minute because LA is kind of a beast. It's a big transition for anybody.
Yep.
Yeah, you do have to figure it out.
Yeah, and like not by myself, but those first 3 months I was with my friend, and then kind of like by myself. But then I had the acting class people to like kind of like help me. So yeah, and I found out central casting and book talent and all that kind of stuff in the beginning. So I kind of like I let myself just be so open to like
try a lot of things.
Yeah, and not a lot of people know, but I didn't have a car too for like the first 2 years. So I bought myself a scooter, or I will like train and walk. I bought
the birds.
Not that big, but yeah, basically an e-scooter, which I still have. It's like that shit's gonna be with me, and I'm gonna put in a wall. That's gonna be like dipped in gold or something at some point. So yeah, like I did that, and I would walk so much, and I wouldn't like, dude, if I would tell you right now, I just didn't mind it. Like I was just I went all the way to Long Beach. I went all the way into the Valley, Malibu, Anaheim without a car.
How did you get to those places?
Meeting people, Uber, scootering, everything. Like from my place, I would scooter all the way because I didn't like taking bus. I would take the train. So for example, downtown to Culver City, and I would go all the way up to Brentwood or something, or like that's a 25-minute scooter ride. Yeah. So I would put my headphones on, put the directions, and she would tell me, like freaking Siri would tell me, hey, turn left here. It's like, okay, but I'm vibing. Like some music saved my life. I was just like so focused, so happy to like go there. I just felt it, and like it felt that I was just in the moment. Like I was just going, from job to job and doing background stuff. I would wake up doing background at 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning to go to Warner Brothers, freezing my ass off because I didn't have a fucking car. So I would just go take the train, go up there, So like it was just like I actually enjoyed it, and I think I miss it to be honest, because like driving is cool, it's faster, but I would get in the train and I would just read lines, and I would just be, myself. I don't have to worry about like driving or like whatever, but I would just like use that time to be thinking about like scripts and stuff. And it would actually help me and benefit me because I was just like even more focused. But point is, second year I felt like I was doing a lot more commercials here. Felt more successful.
You started getting the rhythm of things. Did you have an agent by then as well? Okay.
That's why, like, I already was set up with my agencies. Not film though. I've never had film, but everything that I have film was myself. And I will say,
do you still not have a theatrical agent?
I do now, maybe like 3 months ago. So imagine, I spent my whole 2 or 3 without. It was just myself. Like I would book myself. And
did your manager anything?
No. Okay. Nothing. So and to be honest too, like most of my commercials, like the big ones, I've gotten them myself. Yeah, I've given them to my agency, but it's like
it's like kind of a theme. It seems like is everybody who works a lot and who books a lot, it's self-submission.
It's self-submit, yeah, and it's not bad, guys. It's like it really does. Like I know you want to let your agent do their job, and it's not your job, but it's.
Nobody's gonna fight for you harder than you fight for yourself.
You want to work. Yeah. You want to do big projects. Like, like, come on.
It's good to have an agent because they do see certain stuff we don't see. I've never seen like a Netflix or an HBO thing on my side on Actors Access, but I get those from my agent. I get co-stars for Netflix shows and stuff like that, but I never did prior to having an agent. So it's important to have both.
Yeah. No, film is important for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Commercial. It's still like I would say for SAG is more important.
There are big ones.
Yeah, but come on, like yeah. So I did have an agency. Like my first year, I was covered. Like I had like 2 agents. One is talent and like talent agency basically, so they do both. And the one here that I had was commercial, but she would submit me for like short stories, short films.
With them?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I love them. I mean, they're really great. They're very sports
Cool.
focused too, so fitness and stuff like that. And yeah, I have a background with like sports too, so I like that. And yeah, I'm very grateful too because those 2 agencies I've been able to like travel to Utah. One of them is in Utah, so that's the other thing too.
You did a film in Utah as well,
Yes.
right? Okay. Yes, I was stalking Gabo earlier, and I saw your little Utah film. If you want to talk to us about that.
How did you know that? Wait, where is that?
I just Googled your name, and your little Utah agency popped up, and I was going to ask you about
Oh.
that, the one you're with. Yeah, because I saw they were in Utah, and I was like, what the fudge? But it's funny, I have quite a few actor friends in Utah as well. Like, there is a market there, low-key.
Yeah, it's starting
and
to get
there's
bigger.
a lot of stuff that films there.
Yeah, it's starting to get bigger. A lot of hallmarks, Yellowstone,
Lifetime
stuff like that.
movies, a
Yeah,
lot filmed
Lifetime.
there.
Yeah, yeah. If it's not Utah, it's Montana too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's starting to get bigger in Utah. It's like it's just very beautiful. Like a lot of landscape, a lot of like just.
It's such a
cool-
random place, though. How did you
It
end
is.
up with an agent in Utah?
What I said earlier, my agency here has a collaboration with them, or at
Oh,
least
okay,
at
okay.
least started the collaboration when I like a few months after I joined with them. They're like, hey, if anybody's interested, we are combining rosters with like this agency in Utah. If anybody's interested and they want you, whatever, to submit, just tell them that you want to be in their roster and yeah, create a profile. I just went for it. And yeah, I've gotten decent work. Like I don't know, I've gone there maybe like 4 times already.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So, and I've gone consider for decent roles with them too, but I was either too young
Yeah.
or just not like I was literally put on a veil or like almost a callback for like a Book of Mormon series that they do for YouTube and Hulu, and I was just supposed to be this what is it, Lehi, which is one of the not messenger, he was one of the prophets or whatever.
Oh, cool.
So I would have
Big role.
yes, and if you were to look those the production value, they rent out a field. Or not rent out, but they use a field and they make like thousands of background go. So they
So
they
they've
make
got
it
a
very
budget.
legit, yeah. And I would have just liked the experience to be like, oh,
Oh,
my
yeah.
god, acting in like something this surreal, like
Yeah.
whatever. But then again, I'm not that religious, so I really didn't want to, portray something that might
Fair
not be
enough,
with my
yeah.
values. So
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of Mormons in Utah, right?
yes. But I used to have that audition too in my profile on Instagram too, because I just liked
Oh,
it. It was
okay.
just like very vocal and like
Yeah,
powerful
yeah.
and like I just liked the idea of like doing that kind of role. So, yeah, yeah, the short film though, that's the audition that is on my Instagram with the blue
Yes.
backdrop. That one, funny enough, if I were to tell you or let you guess for what kind of role, I'm sure you wouldn't have an idea because it's just not like it just doesn't make sense. So I was casted for like a 1930s, 1940s, 60s or something like that. I think it was 40s. Yeah, like a veteran. So like white
Okay.
cowboy hat kind of thing, like super like, farmy, those kind of era where it's like very, I don't know how to explain that, right? Like how do you call that here? You know what I'm talking about though, right? Like white clothing with a hat with like hats
A
and stuff.
veteran?
Yeah, like a war veteran, like way back in the day.
Are you
day.
even old enough to be a veteran?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know. They
Okay,
made me into like
interesting. I wouldn't have guessed that from that tape
yeah,
either.
I know.
It was a good tape though, a little intense, but I was like very opposite from Gabo, which is good.
Intense. It's sad though.
It is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's a good thing. I liked it. So I don't know. I felt like the things that I've booked, that's funny enough, I've just gotten a little bit, not method, but I actually was like going through some stuff.
Okay, yeah.
So like the serial killer one, there was
this guy.
Yeah, I mean, I would jump on the metro and look at people wrong. I would just do that because I didn't know like
And
I
you
was
were going through a lot at that time too. Like you had
That's
just
what I
moved
was
here, you
saying,
were
yeah.
still living with your buddy. Like that's a lot what you were
Yeah.
going through.
yeah.
That's kind of the beauty of acting though, is like I'm not a believer in like using your trauma obviously every time you act, but sometimes you can pull from like real life
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
Even when we were last week doing the air maze thing, I might cut this out, but I taped one night where I was like really tired and just like done with everything, and it was a dramatic tape, and I was just like bawling, and like I was just so tired from the day that I was like, I'm gonna self tape right now at like 11 at night, because I knew that I was tired, I was drained, I was annoyed, so I was like, I'm just gonna use this.
Exactly.
The tears just flowed out. I think I taped it literally one time and used the first take.
There
so
you
I was
go.
like,
Exactly.
sometimes you just use what you're going through and it works.
Yeah, you're not forcing it or anything. You're
yeah,
just
exactly.
like, it's like, hey, I know I can shoot it right now.
Yeah.
Because this is what it should be, and then you can go back to that if you're casting and it's like, hey, I know that I have to go there, but it's like, if I'm tired, if I'm feeling like this, you
Yeah.
just remember that. You don't have to like be so
Yeah.
stubborn, or not stubborn, but you know.
It's like a healthy coping
Yeah,
mechanism.
you know.
Sometimes use it as you will. But
Yeah, but the same thing
it's interesting.
happened to me. Yeah, that tape, I don't know what was happening, but I was just felt tired, and I just had a lot on my mind, and I was just so. Yeah, I felt well, not the serial killer one, the the other one for the veteran, but yeah, it felt really good, and yeah, I did that one when I was a little bit on the low side of my mind and life, but yeah. Anything else? Any other one that you want?
Have you? Well, this was just a random thought I had. Have you ever heard about on certain sets sometimes how they'll like get the actors there super early and make them like wait around all day and then tape them like super late so that way they're tired and can like get the tears out of them?
Oh.
Some directors do that. They'll like make their call time like 6 a.m. but not shoot with them until like 10 p.m. if it's a really intense scene.
I don't know that.
So that way they're like tired. I can't remember who did that. But interesting, and I was like, it kind of makes sense.
I mean, interesting enough, I'm tired right now.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, I went
Maybe
drinking
we'll get
yesterday.
some,
Yeah, I was like, you know what?
I did notice you liked my text at like 2 a.m. and then I texted you this morning and you answered at like 9. So I was like, oh, I didn't sleep much last night.
No, but I thrive on my tiredness.
Okay,
So
no,
I love it. Yeah, I love it. I mean,
It's
I don't.
really healthy. You're just used to running
Ooh,
off no sleep.
super healthy. No.
The LA lifestyle.
There you go.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, can we talk a little specifically about some of the projects you've done? Do you want to
Okay.
talk to us about the Netflix show you did, Neon, and how you
Ooh,
got that and what your role
Netflix.
was in that?
My little co-star role,
Mhm.
a little shining moment.
That's, you know how it is. It's a staircase in LA. You gotta start there, you gotta work your way up.
Hey, I was stoked, and I'm still stoked.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, it's meaningless, not meaningless, but like it's
No.
it's in my
That
real.
wasn't a Netflix show. That's cool. You can say that.
Okay. I mean, I'm like, I want a little bit more, you know. So it's cool. But like, yeah. I got that through my Puerto Rican agency though.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So I was stoked. Like, he sent it to me. He's like, hey, congratulations. Like, I just saw the message. And I'm like, what? And then I saw the whole like offer from Netflix and all that stuff. I'm like, oh shit, I actually got it. Cool. I had to fly back.
Oh, cool. You
I
guys
sh-
shot there.
Yeah, and I shot it in Puerto Rico. Very cool. It's like a new not a coming of age, I think, right? Because they're kind of oldish. But yeah, I just played a little stagehand producer for this venue, and I had the pleasure to like just act with the whole crew, which
Yeah,
was 3
I've seen
leads. It's
regulars,
about those
yeah.
3 friends. Was with them, was treated nicely, of course. We all know SAG treats you well when you're, you know, co-star, guest star, not exactly a background, but, you know. So, and yeah, I think I shot it maybe 2 days, I would say.
Was that last year then? Prior to the strike, I assume.
I think so. Yeah, way prior.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I shot that when I was like a year or 2. Yeah, and the show took at least a year to come out. So, yeah, really cool experience though.
Do you want to talk to us about the Lifetime movie you did? Dying to Win.
Lifetime, which one?
Dying to Win is the one I have.
Dying
but if
to
there's
Win?
more,
Oh.
feel free to share.
The Dying to Win is a funny story though. I was casted as a background as a stage hand as well, producer. Like, ironically, I can play that, I guess, a lot. Like, that's my go-to role apparently. But I got casted as a background, and in the day of non-union, they were like, "Oh, say this. Oh, do that."
Oh, they're
Oh,
changing it.
And they added a lot
Oh.
into it. So I looked up the actual movie through like a website that I have, and they actually kept every single moment. So I was like, okay, that's a credit, cool. And then and
Oh, interesting.
so I got bumped. They didn't pay me more. Yeah, they're like, well,
Non-union, baby. I know.
but you know,
I think
I
about
got some good camera time, like 2 or 3
Yeah.
times, and then so in
That's
the
funny.
beginning as well, before I was like, very cool one. Very like, I was just like kind of like, damn, I wish they could have paid me a little bit more, but I was excited too. I was like,
Did
fuck.
you ask?
I did.
Oh, you did?
I
Okay.
did. I did. I'm like, hey, I mean,
Remember.
since they used me for this, they got lines. It was like they're like looking over the shoulder. Well, no, because it's non-union, and yeah, no, they didn't really give me a good reason. I was like, but it's credit. Sure, cool, okay, whatever, and yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm starting, so I auditioned for this role as a bellhopper for Hilton, right, and it shot in Vegas. Super fucking pumped because yeah, it was great.
When did you shoot this? Just out of curiosity.
It was when was the F1 race? The Formula 1 race. Like the
Oh.
20 something, maybe
Yeah.
18 of October, give or take, yeah.
It was like recently.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Very recent, yeah. And the quickest turnaround ever. Like I auditioned today, tomorrow I'm on a Vail, and they
Oh.
booked me the same day. Like a
And
Vail,
You're in Vegas 2 days later.
and yeah, no, like maybe, yeah, give or take, like maybe like 3 or 2 days later, yeah. But then they brought me back 2 times, so I had to like they
Oh.
stretched it out so much. But yeah, that's a longer story. But I auditioned for this bellhopper. They got me into the callback. Oh yeah, that was the same day actually. Yeah, okay, so I
Oh,
auditioned.
jeez.
They called me back for a callback the day after.
Okay.
The day after the call, in the same day of the callback, they put me on a Vail, and I was also put on a Vail for this other project for not Amazon, Best Buy. Oh my god, I think it was Amazon. Oh yeah, Amazon Prime delivery guy. I was
Were
supposed to be.
they on a Vail for the same date? Like the
Yeah.
projects? Oh my gosh, isn't that always how it goes?
Yeah, and
Crazy.
I was just like, damn, if I could do both, that would be great. And I think I could have made it work, but no, I don't know. Like I was just getting flown out like too recent, like too
So you
close
turned
together.
down Amazon then?
Yes.
Okay.
So I was just like, oh, by the way, I got both of them by myself. Again, guys, self-submitting.
Amazon and Hilton.
And yeah. And funny enough, someone from our 200 proof party, she dates, or so like her boyfriend actually was the casting director for Amazon Prime, and she saw my video, and she told me, she's like, hey, did you get a job recently? And I'm like, I mean, maybe. Which one? It's like, oh yeah, it was like you were delivering something. It's like, oh, the Amazon one. It's like, no, I didn't. I mean, I did, but I had to turn it down because I had this other one. It's like, oh yeah, my boyfriend did the casting for that. He's like a tall guy. I was like, well, it was a self tape.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't see him. He's like, oh, okay, well if you see him, then now you know. But cool. So I had to say no to that, and thank God I did. I was just like, either I get paid whatever Amazon wants to pay me,
Okay.
or I do a SAG in Vegas.
So you just picked the one that paid more. That's how you decided, kind of?
Well, that's another funny story. None of us, when we got to Vegas, knew how much we were getting paid. I know.
How did you not?
I know.
enough.
I don't exactly know how to explain it, but like that was an ongoing thing for us because we just were asking left and right, hey, do you know the day rate? Hey, are we getting a buyout? Hey, are we getting residuals? Hey, are we didn't? Nobody knew. Nobody.
Interesting. What did it say on the breakdown? Just like SAG scale or something?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
SAG scale. And so like we're going through the strike, and at the same time, like we don't even know how much the actual scale went up or down, or if it's the same for commercial, or if it's different, what's the usage, or like it's at online and like website, but then a year, but then to 6 months, but this, and I don't know. Then they added a social media team on top of it, so that was another kind of like rate. So we were,
But you were on set and you knew it was a big thing, huh?
well,
So looking around, you're like, they probably got a budget here.
well, yeah, I did the whole thing the same day. They booked me, and I'm like, shit, well, I'm gonna decide to do this one. I got there, and I find out that it's for Formula 1 with Hilton. So there's this driver, Lando Norris, whose birthday was the same week and weekend as the race. So they were trying to celebrate his birthday, and I see the Hilton X F1, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm here for the race. And it was, the race was like maybe 3 months, gonna come up in like 3 months, 3 weeks, or like 2 or 3 weeks. So I'm like, oh my God, that makes a lot of sense now, why it's like the same dates, quick turnaround. They need to get this done, get this like out there. So first day that we arrived there, I go and get fitted. We're, meeting the other people, the other principals and leads, the bellhop, there's other chefs and whatever. And this girl who was a chef, she tells me like, "Hey, I just need to tell you like, you look exactly like the chef that they were like from the mood board that they wanted. Like literally, like obviously not to the dot, but like you look basically what they were looking for." It's just funny, like, huh? But I'm an actual chef, and she actually cooks, and it's like, yeah. So they booked her, and then they booked another girl, like, another lady too, for as a chef. She's like chef and sous chef. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's kind of cool, yeah, I guess. But I got the bellhop, haha, whatever. We finish and we head to the hotel, and they call us, and they're like, hey, we need you guys to come back. And I'm like, okay, what happened? Oh, we're gonna change you guys' roles. So, in my mind, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be a chef now. That's kind of specific. That's kind of cool, you know. I think that's gonna be even better than a bellhopper. Like, come on. So we go back. They fit us, and they're like, oh, this works way better. Yeah, this looks like, oh, you guys look cool. You look good. It fits, like the clothing fits better, whatever. So yeah, we're both happy. But then when we actually get to do the shooting, right? I noticed that my role was actually more prominent, like one that I had, the bellhopper. So I became really good friends with the girl that was supposed to be the chef. So we got to talking and all that kind of stuff, and I got to see that she was doing a lot more stuff. I was just there to like deliver the cake because happy birthday, you know, as a chef. But if you see her, she's on social media. She's on probably like on the video way more and like all that stuff.
Yeah.
I just felt like, damn, like my role, you know, and I lost it. But then again, when I got to talk to her more closely, she's been on and off acting. She's more of a musician, but she never got into the acting because she started acting or doing commercials very young, and she was already SAG a lot. So she would go for a lot of SAG stuff, but she wouldn't get them. And then she wouldn't have a reel. Then it would be like she didn't really like have anything to show to have an agency or whatever. But she tells me like, oh, this is my first lead, you know, commercial. She still got the sous chef role, but when they switched it, they just gave her so much camera time. And I heard that, and I was like, you know what? I feel like that's just like meant to be. You know, like I felt like I've done enough commercials. I have a good reel. And hearing that from her just felt like, wow, I guess, you know, my role might have been like, I still got the role as a bellhopper, but at the same time, if it wasn't for me, and she got way more benefits out of it and like way more exposure because she's just, you know, she just needed that. She just wanted to like, and she did great. I mean, she was just like, they just made a better decision because I felt like she had her moment for that whole time.
Yeah.
I felt like, proud, and at the same time I felt a little bit like, damn, because I love cars. I love F1 specifically, so that's the only thing that hurts. Like, I wish I could just tell my friends I'm in a commercial for F1 and I'm that prominent guy. But then I was like, you know what, I still went to Vegas, I still saw Lando, I still got paid, and I still got the credit, and I'm like, it's just another commercial to me. I don't need it, you know. I'm fine with like whatever comes next. And you know, funny enough, of course I got some stuff afterwards, and I felt great afterwards, you know. And yeah.
So you had like less dialogue then or whatever when your roles got switched.
Exactly.
But we were kind of what we were talking about at work is just like how whatever role is meant for you always finds you and nobody can take that away. And then also just like shifting your mindset, because like you said, you could have been like upset about it, like, I don't gotta speak, whatever. But instead you were like, no, like I'm gonna be happy for this girl. It means a lot to her.
Yeah, we don't have to be selfish, you know. Like I already know I had good credits and stuff. I've done stuff, and hey, I'm still living the experience of going to Vegas. That's what I loved. I love traveling. So I didn't see it as an L or a lose, like a loss or anything. So
and what we do is such a blessing. So.
Yeah, and keeping that energy, guys, would definitely just help you with like, you know, losing roles in the moment, not getting the bump that you wanted, or like just really having that positive, like glass full kind of
That
mentality.
abundance mindset too. I think sometimes it's
Yeah.
so funny to me. I feel like a lot of the time when we're like striving or thinking we need to like hold so tightly to these roles or like not tell our friends about auditions because they might steal them, or like when people get that way,
Yeah.
I feel like you book less. It's kind
Yeah.
of like when you have an abundance mindset and you celebrate the wins of other people,
Exactly.
you'll find that like more comes to
Yeah.
you.
At the same
and more
time,
easily.
yeah. At the
Yeah.
same time, like you have to know when to even not celebrate, because like you're gonna be in the highs and you're gonna be in the lows.
Yeah.
And I've heard, I think it was Tom Hanks, or in a turnaround table, like what if Hollywood table.
Yeah, yeah.
He would just say like, yes, it's gonna be, I'm gonna celebrate, I'm gonna be like in the high, whatever, but then it's gonna come down. So I gotta like
it's the same thing
stay
with them.
cool, and then when it goes up again, you stay
Yeah.
cool, because if you're gonna eventually, if you just are so happy, you don't really like, the losses are gonna feel worse, and then you're not gonna really want to do anything. It's like, oh, what the fuck happened? Like I lost it. Oh no. It's like no. Celebrate them, but stay composed. Like
Right,
it's
yeah.
good, but stay composed. There's more to come, or like less to come, and then
Yeah.
go from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The hills and the valleys of this business. for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
peaks and
Be
valleys.
happy, but not too happy, and not
Right,
too.
I know, yeah. Celebrate, but not too
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because like an avail could go shit real quick. It's like, oh my
Yeah.
god, I got the avail. It's like, yeah, but did you? I just heard now from a booking that I did like a month ago that I got it,
Yeah.
and I was on avail for like maybe like a week or two, and I was like,
Mhm.
okay.
I know.
Like we went to Aspen and came back, and I still didn't hear about them until I got back here.
Yeah,
So.
I know, it's crazy. I've like numbed myself to avails. I like like if they tell me, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll
It's
do
like,
it when the
Cool.
booking comes.
Yeah, I'm the side chick for now.
For real.
Yeah.
Okay, I have one last question for you before our Fast Frisky 5. So,
my.
if you could give any advice to Gabo right when he moved to LA, what would you tell him? You just moved here, you're with your friend, you're on your little scooter everywhere. What's something you would tell him to help him get through that season?
I mean, don't feel so rushed.
Okay.
Yeah. Not in like to do stuff quick, but to get results quick.
Mm.
Like you could do stuff and be on your toes and be, but like if you do them, don't expect like a quick turnaround, like a quick
Yeah.
result. It's like, hey,
No,
you're
that's so
doing your
good.
stuff, but really just don't rush the result process. Like the
Yeah.
process is fine because you can rush it and like you'll feel like you're more concentrated, but like wanting to show the results quick is
Yeah.
another thing. Like
Yeah.
being a better actor because you're going to training, not really. Being a better like slate person, you can slate better just because you do it more. It's like, no, you gotta come on, like get the process down and
Yeah.
let the results show when you're actually I don't know, it's like kind of weird to explain, but like
Yeah,
that's
that's
kind of
good.
like
Like trust the process kind of thing. Don't.
kind of, but yeah, but
Yeah.
like trust the process as in like don't think about the results, because we're always
Yeah.
like, oh my god, I did a great audition, I'm gonna get the booking
Mm.
or like the callback. It's like, no, like I just take myself out of that and I'll audition once or twice,
Yeah.
and I don't care if they reach out or not in like a week or two.
Yeah.
So I don't want to rush like, oh, I haven't heard back back.
Okay. Yeah.
No, like
Just do your
just
thing and move on.
yeah,
If
and
you
don't
hear
try and
back, great.
force it. Don't try and force
Yeah.
it, because it's gonna kill you to be thinking
Yeah.
like that, and you're not gonna want to do anything.
Mhm. I know. I used to be like that too. Now I'm at a place where, kind of like we just talked about, I'll literally sometimes forget, especially when you're so busy. That's why it's important to do other things outside of acting. Don't like pour your whole life into this. Like do other things and have other hobbies, so that way you're not so attached to those things and always thinking about them. Like sometimes I'll forget, like you said, and then you come back from a trip or something and you hear about your avail and you're like, oh my god, I like forgot about that.
Exactly.
Here it
Yeah,
is.
because like the pressure's off.
Yeah,
I mean,
things just
literally.
come easier.
Yeah,
Yeah, I love that.
you'd be surprised.
Okay, are you ready for our Fast Frisky 5
Fast
questions?
Frisky 5.
Do it.
Favorite quote?
Favorite quote?
Yeah, so they're like deep questions, but I like to give them to people on the fly.
Oh god, that's, come on, man. You thought we were
You don't have one,
friends.
it's okay.
I don't know. I mean, I have my own quotes, I guess, but like it's really hard for me to think like that. I'll come back to that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Something in LA not a lot of people know about.
Something in LA. Well, I'm not from here, but Little
What's
Tokyo.
Like oh, okay. No, that's
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Arts districts,
That is a
guys.
cool
It's
little-
it's fun. It's cleaner than what downtown is,
Mm-hmm.
and I might not live there, but don't stalk me.
Yeah.
Little Tokyo.
Do you have a favorite line in a movie?
Favorite line in a movie? I watched. You know what? Yeah. I fucking love fingerling potatoes. That's a fucking inside joke, but yeah, no.
Okay.
Not really.
No, that counts. That's good. Moving on.
Fuck it, yeah.
Pickles, yay or nay?
Hell no. Not by
No?
themselves.
Okay,
Not by
hell no.
themselves.
Okay.
Fuck no. And maybe like a burger or something.
People are always like, hell yeah or hell no. There's like no in between. You either love them or hate them. Okay, Gabo, is there anything else you would like to leave our acting like an actor viewers with?
Oh man. I mean, I would love to leave them with a lot, but I don't know. I could just say that, do the work. You guys, it's a lot of competition. It's so hard, but just do you, like I came here with a dream, and I mean, I'm not that big of a deal, but I'm proud of like what I'm doing. I don't really try and rush things like I said earlier.
Yeah.
So it's more about like what you want to do when it feels like you're being creative, Don't feel like you're getting forced to be creative. So if you don't
do the thing.
Yeah. Just literally like Nike said, just do it.
Yeah, just do it. Trust the process.
It's really,
Love the journey, because it is a journey.
Yeah. And don't wait for like stuff to happen either.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's something that I would like to say, as in like a lot of people here are like, oh, my time's gonna come and like I'm gonna get like a bump role, or like I'll eventually meet someone.
Yeah.
Yes, that can happen, but let's be honest. How does that happen? Because you're looking to like, get booked on certain like background roles, or like you're actively making shit happen,
No, I agree. I think a lot of actors are lazy, low key.
Yeah.
Like a lot of them get an agent and then they just sit back and are like, why am I not booking? And I'm like,
exactly.
Okay,
like if you want to work,
initiative.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to find stuff, don't let it just be on someone else's hands. So don't sit back. Like we all have that procrastinating and like kind of like lazy, and we don't want to do anything. I do those all the time.
Yeah.
But I'll still be submitting, or I'll still be like,
of
doing bits and pieces that bring me my next thing. And
if you want it bad enough, you'll
yeah,
that's
yeah. And even if you're booked on something, or even if you're working on a project, you can always be submitting for other stuff.
Yeah. That's a good point too. A lot of I know
like,
I'll have friends where we wrap something and they're like, I don't know what's next, and I'm like, well, I know what's next for me because I was submitting while we were on set.
Yeah,
so.
It's like I didn't just, oh my god, I'm good for 3 days. It's like,
it is a hustle out here, which is why you have to love this business and love the everyday of it, because it is a lot of work.
Yeah.
Which I know, even for me, like sometimes in Michigan, I feel like my family's like, what the fuck does she do? How does she make money, like doing these little things, these photo shoots and these little movies? Like, what in the world? And I'm like, okay, but you guys also don't see the 10 hours I didn't get paid of me just submitting and answering emails and taking classes. Like,
exactly.
There's a lot we do
exactly. It's an investment, like
it is,
instead of getting like paid for our time for working in a BK, like Burger King, McDonald's or something, you're investing your free time to just submit, and eventually you're gonna get paid for that when you book something that's at least $1,200, or like 1,000, and you're like, okay, I did something, and then eventually from there you'll get bigger stuff.
Yeah, it all balances out.
And not worry about too much about money. I know a lot of people want to make rent and stuff like that, but it's a good balance to not have it in your head that you need to make rent, if that makes sense. Like you're worrying so much about money you can't do the work, or like you're so worried about something else that you can't do the work.
I agree. I think a lot of actors have such a lack mindset around money and put so much stress on it, and I'm like, gosh, like I think you need to have other ways to make money outside of acting, and also like if you need to take a break from acting for a few months to make a lot of money and save so you're not so like stressed out all the time, I think people should do that, as opposed to like just being constantly stressed. You're not gonna be able to come to your craft as a full person if you're worried about money, and so many actors are. Anyway, all right, we'll catch you guys next week.
Yeah.
Bye.
See ya.